Hi, it's me Hojan here. In this video today I will show you how to extract caffeine from coffee powder. The material that we need today is salt, coffee powder, water, isopropyl alcohol 75%. The apparatus that we need is measuring spoon, baking tray, classic coffee filter, spatula, Urethane cooker, and plastic cookie jar. So let's start. First, transfer 3 cups of water into the Urethane cooker. And switch on the Urethane cooker. When the water start boiling, put 3 spoons of coffee powder into the Urethane cooker. And start stirring the coffee so the coffee powder can mix well with the water. After you see the coffee start boiling, then switch off the Urethane cooker and put 2 tablespoons of salt to the coffee. And mix it again until the salt is completely dissolved. After the salt completely dissolved, we stop mixing it and let it cool down. Then we continue with filtration. After the coffee completely cold, take the cookie jar and the filter. Put the filter inside the cookie jar. Then carefully pour the coffee to the funnel, a filter. Take out the filter and give it a press a little bit so we can completely take the coffee and put it away. After that, pour 1 cup of 75% isopropyl alcohol into the cookies jar. And let the coffee mixture settle down and the reaction will take place. After 20 minutes, we move the plastic cookies jar aside and bring the baking tray. Then using a straw and suck the solution on the top here, down to bottom on the top here, then transfer to the baking tray. Then we move the baking tray to a flat place and let the alcohol evaporate, and it will dry become the powder form, which is the caffeine that we need. So this probably almost 24 hours, which is after 1 day or more than 24 hours. And this is how it looked like. I think this powder is the caffeine. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Hello, my name is Tarini and I'm from DBT 5A, and today I will be conducting my virtual HPLC lab. So the materials that I'll be needing is, first of all, is a strainer and 30 grams of ground coffee, salt. Make sure the salt is not without iodide, and 75% of isopropyl alcohol, an empty container, and a plate which is covered with aluminum foil, a bit of water to later heat it up. Okay, so first I'm going to add my coffee grounds. I'm going to let it heat it up for a while. This is to break down the coffee particles so that it is easier for the caffeine extraction. So now the coffee mixture has boiled a bit, and make sure not to overboil, and I have turned off the stove. And next I'm going to add salt. Okay, salt is in this case it is used to so the main purpose of adding salt is because salt is ionic compound and water is polar solvent, so that is why we are adding salt. So once I've added salt, now I'm going to let it for a while for the salt to dissolve. So once it has been cooled, now I am going to strain it. Make sure there is no any stubborn coffee residues. And next we are going to add our isopropyl alcohol. The reason why we add the salt is basically because it helps us to separate alcohol and water mixes nicely with the water. The alcohol mixes nicely with the water, so that is the reason why we add salt to prevent that. And now I'm going to give it a good mix. And then after a while we should be able to see a difference, like alcohol will be on top layer and then the water will be down, so we can see the separation after a while. So I had to change it into a different container. As you can see, there's two separations. There's a lighter one on top, and then there you can see a line, and then thicker, a bit thicker. So next I'm going to take out only the top part. I'm going to take out and then I'm going to place it here, and we are going to let it evaporate, and then we can see the caffeine separation over here.
Hi, I'm Shankari here. Today I'm going to explain the caffeine extraction from coffee. So before we start the experiment, the materials needed for this experiment are aluminium foil, a pan, vinegar, a dropper, Nescafe powder, and then salt. The table salt is very important is because isopropyl alcohol is very miscible with water, so it likes to mix with water really well. This is going to help us separate. Make sure you should use 70% alcohol. This is because when we recrystallize the caffeine in the final stage, it will be easy. Firstly, I'm going to boil the water. Before it starts to boil, I'm going to add the coffee grounds. Because caffeine degrades thermally, so the hotter caffeine gets, the more of it will break down. So we want to get the most extraction from the grounds into the water. I have added the coffee grounds ready, and I'm going to mix it a little by little and then leave it for a few minutes until immediately the fire was shut to keep that all caffeine from degrading too much. Then I add the salt because we want the salt to dissolve in water. This was mixed around until the salt was dissolved. The reason that we are doing this because water is a polar solvent and salt is an ionic compound. The salt is much more attracted to the polar solvent than a non-polar solvent, which is the alcohol. After this, I'm going to let it cool before adding the alcohol. After that, I'm going to filter it, pouring in a glass bowl. Next, I'm going to pour the alcohol once it is cold. Now we can watch this reaction that take place in order to get the alcohol off the top. So the alcohol and water begin to separate. So the next step we are going to do is take off this top layer of the alcohol lined in aluminium foil. Draw off the top layer of alcohol and put it in the aluminium foil. To evaporate, make sure to keep the impurities down by not sucking up anything other than the layer of the alcohol. So after it was dry, I can see some powders, caffeine powders here. This is the result for this experiment. That's all from me. Thank you.